How's it going out there, guys? Welcome to the show. If you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Roll on over to Discord. I know the beautiful Betty Van Velsen's in there, along with the distinguished Adam Meakin. How's it going out there, guys? Betty first.
You got another distinguished one, huh?
We have many. We have. Go ahead.
We have the Nathan Oakley, and we have the distinguished. I wanted to say the distinguished. Okay. Yeah.
That's a bloody funny.
I'm seeing you in a bow tie, Adam. I'm sorry. I'm just like seeing you in this Middle Ages dress.
I look good in a penguin suit. What a life.
Yeah, but the ones they have in the Middle Ages, with these nice embroideries and lace and whatever, like the high up boots and stuff.
Oh, you mean a dandy? I'd be more dressed dandy-like.
Yeah,
dandy.
but dandy,
Yeah.
it sounds sort of like posh in a way, in a modern way.
The way I wanted to look on my wedding day was like that. So I wanted to look like John Pertwee as the Third Doctor, who dressed as a dandy. So I had a longer longer jacket. It was in velvet, yeah. I like that style. See?
How would you do your hair, Adam?
What now? If I was getting married again now, I'd have to have it cut. But because I'm married, I've let it grow.
Really?
I've got kind of like shoulder length hair now, yeah.
Why did you? Yeah, I know that you do have long hair, but I thought you might have had it since hippie time.
You used to always have short hair. That's why I went. Yeah? It's only because of COVID and the hairdresser shut down. I thought, well, here you go. You're halfway there. You might as well see how it goes.
No, that's more excuse. Yeah, you had long hair before that.
Right? I started to grow it a bit longer because I always had like short back and sides. Yeah, like military hair.
So, do you have a sort of a men's bun also from time to time?
Man bun.
Men's buns. What?
Buns.
A bun that you have a sort of a knot, a hair knot in your hair.
I just pull it back and then stick a band around the back.
Yeah, but you have these people, also these soccer players. They have that man bun going.
I can't tell what shape it makes. It's at the back of my head. I can't see there.
Oh, come on, you do check if it's all right.
Through, so it's not in my eyes, and I'm done. There's nothing.
Oh my God, spoke like a true man. Nobody lives behind you, huh?
No, they do, but I just can't see them when I'm looking forward.
It's harsh, like I can't be harsh with the men that live behind me.
Well, I can't say it, so there's no point spending any time on it.
I find it funny. You have these people that have these coats on with the sort of a hat attached to it, and that hat is doing all kinds of like gymnastics behind them, and they never get it right, and they look like hunchback people. And nobody tells them that it looks weird.
What are you on about now?
Dress code, John. Dress code.
What? That hat's attached to a jacket? What?
Yes, you have these hats attached to a jacket, so you can, if it's raining, you can get them up on your head, right? It's attached, and then it's inside out behind on your back, and it looks weird. It looks like people are from the line of Quasimodo, the hunchback people.
I got no idea what you speak of.
No,
as usual.
True. It seems that there's a rift between us.
If there isn't, we can make one.
I might make more like a chasm. An abyss.
An unfordable one.
Not enough.
Again, what?
I bet it.
There's already an ocean.
It really looks.
Is that not enough?
No, not usually.
No. No.
Just Bill, what you were saying?
Oh, I was gonna say the hunchback people playing midget golf must look strange as well.
Good on you. Yeah. Usually goes together. Somebody says gangsters with hoodies. Yeah, it's sort of like a hoodie, but on a jacket, right? And you have it inside out, and it's sort of that stuff, that tough material, and it looks weird.
You're going to have to post a picture of this. I have no idea what you're speaking of.
Yeah, I've gone quiet.
I have no idea if there's any pictures of this. How do you search for such a thing?
I don't know. It's your claim.
No, it's just talking to one another. Now I'm all of a sudden claiming stuff.
You're claiming a hat attached to a jacket, and the hat is inside out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So if you can pronounce it.
That's a claim. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's not my claim.
Oh, let me see if there's something there. No idea.
Why
am I doing this anyways?
Where are you
I'm
going to
getting
post
bored.
No idea. No idea what we've got here.
Let's go to BALLBUSTERS.
Let's just assume it doesn't exist and it's people with scoliosis. Move on.
No, because my neighbor from time to time has that like hat inside out, and I correct it, and then it looks fine.
Is it a Dutch thing? Is it a European thing? It definitely isn't American.
It's like having your clothes inside out. I mean, it looks weird.
It's starting to sound like a mum thing.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. You know what? When you go out and your sleeves and your collars aren't quite right, she has to correct you.
Oh God, is there a word for that?
A mum thing.
Alrighty then. Well, let's move on, people.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I heard enough.
All right, let's try something. For this week for BALLBUSTERS, I made a command decision. It's going to be on information. But what I want to do is I want to try something here in Discord with the share your screen.
Now?
Yeah, I'm going to try it right now.
Whoa.
Okay, let's see if
Daring
I
of
can
you.
pull that up. I guess it has to be. Oh, there it is. There it is. So let's see. All right, let's see if you guys could see that. Yeah?
Oh, well, you have to join, right?
Got it.
So
Information.
the people out there in YouTube land are involved in our little mission here. Can you guys see that in Discord?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So that's good. We want to try one more thing. Not that. Now, will it be the same? It should be the same screen, right?
It's on.
What?
It's on the live stream now.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the that helps out. Thanks. Do you see Flat Earth Debate 1865?
I do now. Yeah.
You have a different screen on the YouTube channel than you have in Discord.
We had the Gmail.
What can you see now?
Nathan.
In Discord?
Even the Earth is not flat. Or 2.
You have to be specific. In Discord or on YouTube?
The screen I'm sharing in Discord. What
it's
can
still
you
information on Gmail.
All right, so I have to change. Okay. Let's try it. Hold on one second. So I got to go back and change that. So stop screen sharing, right? And then share screen again. I just can't flip it, even though it's on the same. There we go. Now what do you see in Discord?
Same as YouTube in Discord.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Now, here's the next mission. Tell me if you can hear this. I'm going to play about 10 seconds. You ready?
Okay, so this is the same YouTuber from yesterday.
Yeah, but very quiet.
Now,
Nathan's
I'll
here.
I'll grant 10th man that I did actually get into invent. To reify took even longer. But to invent this isn't something that you're figuring out.
All right, so you're saying you can hear it, but it's low?
I hear it fine. I had to turn the volume up on your stream.
On the
I
stream?
can hear it fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like while viewing the stream, you can click. the
Okay,
little
okay,
volume
relax
button.
for a second. In Discord or on the live YouTube stream?
In Discord, you can
In
hear
Discord.
it, but it's a little quiet. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's just lower than the rest of the people talking in the room. It's audible.
But you could turn it up, though, right?
Yeah, exactly, and then turn it back down if you come.
Okay,
out.
okay. See, that good. That works.
What else do you need?
Yeah. You're getting modern on us?
Am I getting what?
Modern.
Modern. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up to speed. I don't want people going out to YouTube and the people in Discord being 20 seconds behind. It's just
It is annoying.
It
Yeah.
is annoying, right? So I want to try that. I want to see how my computer holds up because this looks like it takes a little bit of juice
Mm-hmm.
from Discord for whatever reason. So
Well, you don't have to do that all the time, the whole streaming, but from time to time, right? If you have a clip to show us and then you just
yes,
unstream us in Discord again.
yes, that's a fact. Yes, I want to see.
Yeah.
Let me leave it up
Nice.
for a minute or two. We can go on about our business. I just want to leave it up and sharing that screen and see what happens.
Talking about being modern, I've seen almost the whole community also now entering into that Element app.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
I know. You saw me struggling with it when I started it, I think.
What's
Maybe.
the mission? I know we have one person champion that idea.
Yeah, the LVA Paul. Maybe he's listening to us. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But maybe he could next time sort of come on here and help us out a little or show, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
Let me try something.
I've seen Nathan also being on there already. I think that he joined there too. I think it's maybe a good alternative, right? I don't know if it's going to hit off, but because I find it also well, challenging in some places. What do you think, Adam? You are there too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Well, I think the reason it's being looked at by Paul and that is that not as an alternative really directly to Discord, but as an alternative to G+.
Mm-hmm.
So what you were just talking about there, what QE's doing, it's frustrating for us on the G+ panel. So in the live show, we can only watch via YouTube, and that's not necessarily a bad lag, but it's still a lag. And then when we go to the after show, you can't watch it, which makes it harder for you to comment. So we was asking Paul about that, but maybe we have to go to Discord. If you can do it in Discord, it'd be helpful for us. But that, other than that, it's the only difference really is the G+ thing, where apparently that, and Nathan will appreciate this, but the sound is better. The sound quality is a lot better than G+. It's not necessarily an issue for me, that bit, but that's the selling point to Nathan. I don't see it as an alternative to Discord.
No, it's an
there's
alternative.
A community on Discord.
It's an alternative to G+.
Yeah, that's I think what's being looked at really. Yeah.
Okay. So I could take my time joining?
No, because we need to test it. We want to test it for sound, so we're going to try and do a show, I think, or so, when everybody's up and running. using that and see what it's like.
Well, you could test it without me.
Obviously, G Plus costs Nathan money. You get an hour's free, but that's never sufficient for a show, so it'd kick out.
Right.
So it should enable him to cancel. It's only trivial, but it's still a saving, isn't it? So.
Right. Now, can you play videos and things on Element?
I don't.
I wasn't aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you share your screen there?
Hey,
I just heard half of it.
He said
as far as I'm
me.
aware,
Yeah, no, I said in general. I mean, can you, with people, share your screen to other people's, well,
Like
screen?
I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware, that kind of functionality is the same in Discord, G Plus, and Element.
No, because it's in Discord, it came later in development. It wasn't there all the time. It was a very new feature.
It's there now, is what I mean. So as far as I'm aware, there's nothing that Discord's got like video streaming. No, video's there. It's definitely there.
Okay.
Both in
We got Paul here.
personal calls and sharing. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Okay.
He'll tell us.
Yeah, we got Paul in here now, Kiwi. So maybe he can tell us a little bit about Element.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's really just a viable alternative to Discord because the sound's better. At the moment, there's no sort of community standards in place because it was made to be open source, like Odyssey is for videos. So their data isn't stored on any one place. So it's much harder for them to get restricted and shut down. And of course, they have no reason to want to censor people themselves like Discord do, because Discord have signed up to the government's idea of what misinformation is, which is anything at the theme of the day, really, isn't it?
So wait a second. You're trying to replace Discord?
Well, eventually. I mean, initially it was just to try and help Nathan get a better panel, so rather than using Google Meets because the sound's better and
That's
people can come
a
and go as
different
they like.
subject. That's Google Meets.
It could replace both eventually if people wanted to. So it's obviously dependent on whether people want to stay on Discord or not. But I don't see why you'd want to be on Discord with their current policies.
The thing is that
Give me a
Paul
second. Give me a second. The doorbell just went off.
Yeah. So Paul, the things on Element, are they totally the same in the sense of that you can share your screen and that sort of stuff, or is that not an option?
Yeah, that's the same. There isn't really roles as such. You can create power user levels and you could create your own system, in terms of ranking, but there's no customized roles as yet. But they seem to be adding new stuff every week, really. And Element isn't the only client you can use because the information, the servers are on thematrix.org, which is Element's matrix. But there are other clients you can use. If you go to matrix.org/clients, you can see there's like 20 clients you can access the board on. I've only tried Element so far.
I saw you send in Element sort of the user's guide, and I'm working through it. I had a difficult time getting in. I mean, there was that whole matrix thing, and then you had to log in separately. I thought I was already there, and it wasn't. And then
it's for privacy, so only people who join that you want them to. You have to basically invite people into the room. So what I've done is I've now set up a welcome channel, so it's got guest access and it's public, so people can pop in there and we can voice verify them, and then individually invite them onto the rooms they want to join. That wasn't there before when you joined, but it's something I've figured out recently.
Oh, yeah, and they also have bots. I saw.
Yes, that's another thing I haven't looked into at all. But there is a user guide, and there's many pages to read through.
The only thing that I didn't figure out is that if you want to join a voice channel, you can't see who's in there and if it's still active or something.
Activity is another thing. I think that may be a privacy thing or it's just something they've yet to add. But what I've done is I'm going to add a room where it just says who's online, and anyone who wants to talk can post in there, and then you can see if anyone reads it, and you can direct anyone to where you are by posting in a hyperlink to the room you're in, so people can easily migrate, because it is quite hard, like on Discord, to migrate around on a phone, especially with a touch screen.
Yeah.
So that's just one sort of stopgap measure that I'm going to add. And then, as I say, they're updating it. So I think people are joining in droves, possibly because of being kicked off other platforms.
Well, yeah, sure. Okay, and there was something else that I wanted to ask. Oh, I forget. What was it again?
What's your sign?
That could be a thing. But Nathan was for now. I think it's more important for Nathan that he doesn't have to pay for that Google Meet thing, which is also very much well.
And it's not very good quality because
Sure.
you can't adjust each of the panel members' levels, and he can't, he has to let people in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
sometimes when people join late, they have to message him on Skype to say, "Let me into the meet," because we're all still talking sometimes after the after show, and he has to be there to let them in. Whereas with an Element channel, people can pop in like on Discord whenever they want, and of course we make it private for the panel. And then you can have other rooms, more public rooms, to hopefully get people on the show, is the other idea. You could have a public Flat Earth server on Element where people can find it online just by searching for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Discord has that sort of thing too. You can make it a sort of a community server, and then they sort of have you on a dashboard or somewhere. But if you do that, then there is more rules again, right? You have to be nice in the sense. So that's not good.
I mean, Element does have some sort of public standards policy, but that's really just for their public face. They wouldn't put something on the wouldn't create something on a blockchain unless they wanted people to be able to talk about what they wanted to talk about. I mean, that's the purpose of the matrix. Make it hard to cancel and delete and block.
Well, listen,
Okay.
I'll just wait for you guys to get all the bugs to work out, and then I'll join up.
In terms of broadcasting, Flatsoid's doing it now, John. So that's all ready to go. It's just getting the people on board. Like, I've made you a space, and it's all ready to go. So you can have a look at it if you join, and I can show you around if you want.
Betty
All
had a
very
hard time.
straightforward.
Betty had a hard time getting in. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way for right now.
Yeah, but I think that with the guide, it's getting better because I didn't have that. And Paul sent me the guide, the Element guide, and you know how I am. I don't want to read through whole bunches of like text to just do something. I just want to get on going. And what I did was because I think you can encrypt messages in the sense that, but you have to sort of have two.
Yeah, it's the private
devices.
message thing. Pretty much has to be encrypted because that's the way they set it up. So you just say you say backup in privacy and security. You say backup, and you copy this key they generate, and you just save it in a notepad. So whenever they ask you for it, you just copy it from there and paste it in. That's the easiest way. On a tablet, it's slightly harder, but normally you can just ignore that. And the only thing you can't read if you're in a pinch is your direct messages. So everything else is still there because I've set all the rooms up to not be encrypted because it just adds an extra barrier for the moment, until they figure that out. So, so the only problem I had is on a tablet I can't read certain private messages unless I post my key in. But that's just a little bug there, all going to work out soon. But in terms of broadcasting, if you listen to Blacksoid shows, when he's not got an OBS issue, it's fine. The issue is not being caused by Element. His current issues being caused by OBS and Windows possibly because he's got the same problem on Discord as well. So it's a back end problem with OBS, I think. If you go further, sorry.
There's a lot of people that have back end problems.
Oh my God! You had to get that in.
And I get people mention the Element terms of service as the same as Discord. Yeah, but the difference is the Element doesn't enforce it. They have to have a public face. People don't seem to understand what the difference between a ClearNet and a blockchain is and what open source means. Because someone said to me earlier, or I read somewhere earlier, that you can't really download it, but it's open source. So you can put it on your own server. That's about as open source as you can get. You can download their entire source code and change it and put it on your own server.
Okay,
So
yeah.
free.
You have to maintain it yourself.
Free.
That's difficult. Yeah.
And that's why there's so many clients to use it, because people have done that. They've downloaded Element and they've changed it and made it their own.
Okay. So there's the advantage is that it might be safer because you can't be kicked off that easily.
It's much harder, and ultimately, if we weren't welcome on the Matrix, say because Google bought them, we've got the Element code to download, and we could upload it to our own server if we chose to have one.
Okay. Yeah, and then you can start over, basically.
Yeah. I mean, you should be able to copy all your information and back it up.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
looking into that, and hopefully I'll be able to adjust the element source code if I learn quick enough to fix the bugs I've found myself. That might be beyond my limits, but I'll give it a go.
Well, yeah. If there's no one to try, then you for sure know that won't work, right? So yeah. Okay.
At the moment, they're not actively trying to censor people.
Does it also work very well on a phone, for example?
I've got Neil on, so if he can get on, anyone can. To be fair to Neil. Sorry, Neil.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, I took that one personally. Thank you.
Tim joined the panel earlier, John. So
yeah,
he had a couple of things to work out.
John, you cannot be left behind. You need to do this too.
I remember you saying that you hate Discord, you see, so this is a alternative for you.
Well, I think Element is from the evil one also.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. Well, we just have to adjust. I mean, you saw how easily they could take out a Discord server, and also people that are in higher ranks with it. And it sort of gave me the creeps a little bit, because you can go to that whole trust and security thing and ask for your account back, and they don't look at anything. They don't have any morals or ethics or any intelligence to see that it's so easy with their policies to just take you out. As when you have enemies on your Discord server or enemies at all, right? And that still has me like in a cringe. I don't like that. So yeah, I think it's good to have many other outlets and other places to go, but I think it's also can sort of scatter people, and I hope that doesn't happen, right? I hope that still people also come to Discord for now if they want to meet up with people here, because it's also a very good place to at least attract people that are at least familiar with Discord and not with Element.
So when's the first run of Element on Nathan's show?
Well, Nathan was busy the other day doing his amplifiers, so I imagine he's just got to find time to test it out.
Okay.
So we're just waiting on him to join the rooms, really, because he's got an account and everything. He's just got to find the time to. He's got to find time to be on the computer, because normally someone's playing, Minecraft or something by the looks of it.
He playing Minecraft?
No, that's his kids.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so if Nathan goes over to Element, then John, you have to, because otherwise you can't. You have to join through Discord.
Yeah. Well, then I'll have to join through Discord. Well, that's really hard. Yeah. So
okay.
Good.
Yeah, I was trying to change the topic, but maybe you have some questions for Paul as well.
No, I've already addressed Paul.
Oh, thank him.
Thank you, Paul.
Welcome.
And hello.
Oh, too funny.
Say hi, John.
No, but this is not hi, but this is thanks afterwards.
Hate that.
Well, is that what that union was all about, Paul? Because once I saw I think it was in one of the Skype channels.
No, that's a different thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I called the space that for Brian. That's a joke. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was that also an Element then?
No.
That's what the panel room is called. Yeah, it's called the FED panel union. It's just a joke.
It's just a joke, Betty.
You can change it.
Okay. So we have then Skype. We have here Discord. We have then Element. We also have Gilded. I mean, that server, even if it's dormant, it's still there.
Yes.
It just doesn't work very well.
I know, but also they are approving or trying to approve their systems and things. So, I mean, yeah, we got a lot of outlets to go to. And at least we can find each other when something like Discord goes boom, boom, splash, splash. Right?
Adam had something to say. Everyone rumpus them. Go ahead, Adam.
Just all trivialising it, saying it's a joke. Don't think it's head of the union lead. They had the union leaders thinking it's a joke. Ryan's serious about our mistreatment by Nathan Oakley, both in the shows and after shows. He wants rights for the workers.
Yeah, yeah. Brian's leading that charge, isn't he?
Yeah. No, but on seriously, it's stuff like that, what Paul's mentioned, not being able to join and stuff like that. It's a bit frustrating because we have lives outside of the show. It's just little simple stuff like that that means we can carry on irrespective of the show and do our nattering. So there's all sorts of benefits that I'm being seen. I said I don't see it right now as a let's migrate thing. If Discord do another dirty like they did last time, then you're not going to go Discord again. You're going to try somewhere where you're not going to keep getting knocked back. So it seems a good backup plan, and more importantly for us guys, it's a better platform for us to chat.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
And all new things are sometimes sort of, not intuitive and struggle. But in the end, I think that it's good to have different options. So thanks, Paul, for giving us an update for that. And maybe you can help in the future with Quantum Razor to get on the element.
Just let me know and I'll do anything I can.
All right. Appreciate it, Paul. Thank you.
Great, thanks. And maybe element, maybe Paul is still for more the people from Skype and the sort of the hardliners or the hardcore like people, or is it also for other people outside the group?
Well, I say it's completely up to Nathan whatever he thinks is best. But I just think when he hears the sound, he'll want to use it for everything. But the viewers willing, I guess they've got to be willing to join it.
Yeah, the way I know Nathan is that he wants to have these two platforms, and then him being the hub for them both, so that on Discord he has maybe other people and the panels, the sort of the hardcore group on Element maybe, or like on the Google Meet.
Yeah, so you could have one space on Element on one browser with the panel and another browser with another space on with the guests. And that would be two different channels, and you could do that right now, actually.
Yeah, and I think he likes that because he can sort of overrule one person that is like a guest and still have his panel talk. Otherwise it's too much.
He runs the show through his amplifier systems, which is like why he wants them for backup. So he can close the line.
It's a train wreck with G Plus and Discord. It's not good.
Well, the thing is, of course, you can see when someone is talking. Can you also see that on Element, by the way, if you are not in the room? I saw that the camera is on. You have to basically set it off or toggle it off, right?
Not if you're not in the room. If you're in the room, you see the screen change to who's speaking.
So you can be there without being a talker.
Yeah, you can listen in the room. It's exactly the same as Discord, apart from when someone's got a bad signal, it lowers the bit rate of their channel and it keeps the rest of the room good. Whereas if you've got a poor connection in Discord, you have to lower the bit rate of the entire room and make everyone sound bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but you can see that someone is talking. I mean, you can see like a sort of a circle around their avatars or whatever.
Not currently, not if you're not clicked on the room.
Okay. But if you're in the room, in the voice room or something like that, then you can see who's talking.
Yeah, that is a bit more like Google Meets. You either click on priority speaker and then it changes the screen, or you click to a tile. Like when you click on the voice channel here, you see everybody, and then I think they glow around their avatar. Then, if you're in the room, that is.
That's good
Like,
for people. I mean, it sounds menial, but it's important for when people are watching out there in YouTube land that they can see who's talking. That's why Betty was asking about that. She's a real stickler for that.
I see. Yes. Well, because the person doing the stream is going to be in the room, they should be able to get OBS to pick that up. But that is something that we're going to have to work out with Nathan and potentially Hammer if he's doing a show on Thursday, I think, on refractive philosophy. So we'll probably test it properly then.
Right. Yeah, I think it'll work. It'll probably just be a menu type thing. You could just pull it out. Right?
Yeah, it'd be a custom option because I doubt they've got any settings for Element. So
Right.
it'd be a bit like currently Rumble's the second biggest streaming platform next to YouTube. Yet you have to do a custom stream on OBS still because they haven't added it.
Right. Well, good.
hmm.
Outstanding.
Okay.
Thank you again, Paul.
Welcome.
Any more questions of Paul so we can thank him again?
I can't think of any other, but I still have to figure a whole lot of things out. It's a lot of like approval things, and so you can see the channel. So for me, at first it was like, what am I doing? And
You didn't say it exactly like that.
huh? Well, no, that was the beginning of it. I mean, the whole beginning, I was like really pissed at that whole thing.
Yeah, it's a bit like going from Windows to Linux. It's a learning curve for sure.
I was on the browser, and later on I thought, okay, there must be an app for this. So I had an app on the computer, and then I forgot what my password was. Of course, that's dumb, right? But I should have written it down, and I didn't. But I thought, it can't be that easy or that difficult. Oh, it wasn't that easy. And I had to basically, do a lot of like jumping through hoops before I got it, and it finally took someone else watching in, even that you didn't say anything, John, by the way, but just looking over my whole things that I was doing, and then it worked suddenly. It was like really like, okay, it works. I haven't tried it on my phone though, because I don't know what sort of like how heavy it is on phone, or that does work, or so.
Well, I'll just wait for Betty to work out all the bugs, right? Give it a couple weeks and then pop on in.
No, I'm not doing bugs. They tried to put it in our food. I'm not doing bugs.
I'll just wait till you. Hello, Nathan. We're just talking. In fact, we're talking back office stuff, and this was probably the most people I have on the YouTube stream watching for a while. So we'll just keep on talking back office stuff, and we'll get the numbers up.
How many numbers are we having here?
About 50.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So let's keep on talking back office stuff. Oh, here's one. Sorry. Hey, Pooper Duper. He says the Black Swan is debunked VY refraction. Are you retarded? Just checking.
How can you debunk? How
Did
can
you
you
say
debunk?
bi-refraction?
VY. But I think he meant bi refraction, yes.
Hold up. How old is she now? That Swan.
3 years?
You couldn't have predicted it, could you? We gave him a year to figure that bit out. It's even had a title for more than a year called the Orwellian Paradox. And yet, I have the cheek to actually.
I'm not even gonna explain it to him. I'm just gonna let him go. Just harden up everywhere he goes.
Purposely not, just a couple of clues.
Somebody says
It's like saying the sun's debunked by the light in the sky.
Yes.
Good job, Pooper. Go ahead, Betty.
they have these nice names, do they?
Pooper Duper.
Yeah. Well, somebody has a new name for me as well. Betty Bugmaker.
Betty what?
Bug Maker.
The Betty Bugmaker. That's oh, I get it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Took a second.
Somebody said, Brenda, yeah, sometimes I do too. I mean, just let her hear, let him talk, and then on, and then just
Google
sink.
refraction. This pooper duper says Google refract. Come on in here. Go Google yourself, you numpty dipshit. Get on in here. Come on, present your case. We want to see you debunk the Black Swan with refraction. The floor will be yours.
Yeah, I think Brett is in Discord. Yeah, he's in voice verification. He can handle it right now.
Yep, get him in here.
Should we give him an invite? Maybe Divergent Droid will give him an invite.
All right, whatever. I'm not going to be dealing with him out in chat skank land. I just peeked over there and I seen his little idiot comments.
Yeah.
If you've seen these videos, though, he just uses an AI algorithm to make them. So he doesn't even have to be a real person. He could just be a chat GPT bot or something.
Nasty Fripple said, Google Dunning-Kruger.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's whole chat GPT. Huh? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's now a version that's called Chaos GPT, and it was asked to say how it would destroy the world or something like that. And then they halted it. Oh my God, we could be at the beginning of Skynet, you know? From the Terminator.
That's all right. You still have the Terminator here.
Yeah, but you're just a globe Terminator. Now we need a flat Earth destroyer.
I can phase shift.
Phase shift? Oh. Somebody said, Nathan said duper GPT. Duper pooper GPT. Too funny. Yeah.
Don't tell him, Brian. Don't tell him that, dude. Let him just keep on going on where he's at. Let him champion. Let him stick his flag right in there. Oh, boy. 3 years. I can remember stating I was going to give him, I think my first prediction was 9 months before they understood the argument. I guess I didn't actually understand how stupid they really are. I lowballed it.
What? Balled it?
Yeah, I
You
lowballed
put
it.
it in the closet? You put the swan in the closet?
Negative.
Oh, good. Yeah. What is the Black Swan anyways? John, can you remind us?
What is it?
Yeah, what is it? What do we call the Black Swan?
We call it the Black Swan
Yeah, why?
because all swans aren't white.
Good. So this is not a program about flat Earth, it's a program about swans.
It starts from the Karl Popper analogy.
I tried to lead him, Adam, but he doesn't seem to catch on.
Well, I thought I'll do it and then I'll hand over.
Thanks.
Well, it starts earlier than that. Shock by apparently British settlers.
Stop mumbling, Adam.
I'm away from the mic. Apparently British colonialists going over to Australia and being shocked to see black swans. But prior to that, obviously, you could have said that all swans are white. Karl Popper analogy is it only takes one black swan to disprove that statement that all swans are white. That's then used with regards to Earth curve, horizon, claiming it's a limitation of the ball, leading edge. That analogy is then used with John's Odin's syllogism.
Modus what?
Is it Podens? My brain's gone. Holland.
You mumbled there, Adam. You didn't know.
Yeah, I wasn't. Could you tell? Because I wasn't sure. My brain said no. No,
Modus
say the other one. Say the other one, Ad, it said.
Maybe it's time to hand it over to QE now.
Well, that's the point. That's what I was going to get to, which is hopefully where he'll pick it up from the like bit of historical information as to where the phrase comes from and how we apply it to the limitations that the ballers have put on themselves, what they state we're on, and how that has to have implications.
Over to you, QE.
What do you want me to do?
I take it from there.
Come on, dude, this is a flat Earth show. Come on with your Black Swan argument thing.
Good. Great job,
Yeah.
buddy. Way to grease the skids there. Eloquently.
I mean, I did it so eloquently, and you just passed by and what am I doing here? Like a Dumbo.
Like a Dumbo?
Make it dumb as well.
You
Get on with it. Be a flat earther for crying out loud.
be a flat earther. There isn't more of a flat earther in flat earth.
Well, momentarily, you're not in it.
Momentarily.
Yeah, where is your mind at?
Like the Joe Biden of flat Earth right now.
You sound like the Joe Biden. I got 2 words for you. No, 3. Get stuffed.
You see? No, 3.
He's totally lost his rocker.
Well, I feel the Black Swan is like it's like sliced bread, right? Everyone has been exposed to it. So
Apparently, Super Pooper isn't.
Duper Pooper. Yeah, I'm not concerned with Duper Pooper.
Come on. Every proponent is we don't get many. So.
All right. Well, I got it up on the live stream. Oh, thanks, Dave Scott. Superchat. Boy, those have been few and far between.
I thought this was an archery show.
you like that, Betty, don't you?
Yeah, I love this. Yes, these people are so funny.
You know what I saw this week?
Oh my God. An arrow?
Yeah, the close up, not just the arrow, but the wrap as well before it goes on the arrow.
Oh,
Yeah,
What
with the globe Terminator on it. It's awesome.
oh
Well,
wow.
Adam. Well, somebody that was Adam asked to see it. So, and usually people would just blow that off, but I remembered, and then I went
Oh.
out of my way to
Out
go.
of your way.
That's right, and I posted it to Adam, as I said I was gonna do.
Oh wow.
And I appreciated that effort.
Nice. Should get a room on Element.
On Element.
What a wise ass.
I thought so. Yes, thank you.
All right, do you want me to, I'll have to put that photo up then, Adam, right?
Yeah. Tim. It might be the first Flat Earth show we've done in like months.
We nearly got there, didn't we?
Up.
We nearly got there. But to be fair, it's Dave Scott's fault, not ours. He brought it back to the main topic.
It was not
Reminded
a
us why we're here.
yeah. The timing of that super chat was like super off.
Set up. All right, I'm trying to get this thing on here. Where'd you go?
Ooh, I see the platform.
All right, there you go. This is why I sent Adam. So this is one of the arrows. We're going to turn it into an archery show.
Oh God.
Thanks, Dave Scott. So,
I'm on mute.
so no, you're on mute. So here's the arrow, right? And there's the this is called an arrow wrap. So I wrap up the arrow top end so I can fletch them, and it's easy to fletch. However, I can personalize them. So I put my avatar on there and just passing through. Then wrapped it around the arrow. So if you get shot in the ass and you turn around, pull that thing out there, then you see the avatar, you know who shot you in the ass. Good?
Talking about shooting yourself in the ass. Duper Poons again.
I'm not chat skanking. I'm not.
I am, but I'm not going to laugh though. You will. horizon is physical, and it gets refracted because it's in the water.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, you physical horizon denier.
Can we ask
Hey,
questions?
Is that it?
Yeah, I can
Are
see
there
that
any
just passing
questions
through
to-
on screen now. Now that's quality. That's a nice bit of archery. Just passing through your buttocks.
Thanks, Adam. I just took it off.
Or
It's just come up for me. This is the trouble with the delay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I forgot
Yeah,
about
you-
that.
green thing on. Just Bill, you want
That's
to
like
say?
leaving your fingerprint. Yeah, putting your image on the arrow that's in someone's derriere is like leaving your fingerprints on a murder weapon.
Whoops. Yep. Well,
Just pass it through.
yep. He's got the name Terminator.
Oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that either.
Now.
All right,
A voice check.
now we're back. Thanks. We're trying to get squared away. We need to confirm voice checks now.
Oh, sorry. Just wondering if there were questions today.
Oh, why is that up there like that?
Aren't you glad to be alive, Kiwi?
Okay, I think now we're good to go. Sorry about that. A little technical difficulties.
Somebody asked you a question.
What?
Humble. Humble.
Hello.
Question.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering, where is the speed of light?
Oh God.
Is no, just is there an established speed of light that is legitimate?
No, there's an average two-way speed.
Average two-way speed.
Yes.
Okay. So if the speed of light shows up in an equation, how does that affect the legitimacy of the equation?
It destroys it.
The key word is average speed of light, which in of itself
Right.
means you shouldn't
Okay.
use it.
So if it shows up in an equation, then it makes the equation illegitimate.
Correct.
To reality, yeah.
Okay. So if there's an experiment that
Oh God.
includes the speed of light, how does that affect the experiment?
Give an instance.
Okay, in one of the experiments that the double slit experiments,
Oh,
the light
brother.
is said to travel from one mirror to another mirror in a set time.
That's right.
Does that legitimate give a legitimacy to the speed of light being known?
No, it's just a convention. In other words, right? It's
Well,
like
but
it's like an inch, right? It's just a human convention. We stated that an inch is an inch, or a millimeter is a millimeter, and that's the convention that we use. I
They
guess
call
that
it
would probably be a.
methodology.
It would seem irrelevant, humble H, to the experiment. Within the experiment, the speed is not relevant, is it? To cause and effect.
It could be in the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment. There in the
Delayed choice. Yeah, well, that's a separate matter. Delayed choice.
Right.
But in double slit, I don't see how that's pertinent to the validation or how it would affect it, knowing the rates. Double delayed choice, maybe. It's part of the mechanism, isn't it? It's part of the longer route.
Yes.
Mm.
So it could be, but it's a better way to state it. It's just a convention, like I said. There's no way they could validate the one-way speed of light. it's just not going to happen, right?
So the time it takes for the light to travel from one mirror to the next isn't important to the experiment, or the
Yeah, it is. It is. Yes. In that particular aspect of the experiment, it is, yes. It's not the whole experiment.
Oh, I understand that.
Not,
but if in the same, sorry.
I was just going to say, the distance is different. That's the...
But if a calculation that contains the speed of light throws anyhow, yeah, okay, it just gives me something to think of. Okay.
H, you've got me thinking. So make the point, because you've got me curious, but I don't know where you're taking it. So just make
Well,
not a claim,
I think,
but just make the point that you've
I
brought.
think what you're curious about is the point. I think if you're curious that if a calculation or is included in say a Schrodinger's equation includes say the speed of light, and no, I'm sorry. Okay,
I knew this was. I thought that you. I thought you were going to come out the gate. I thought you were going to come out the gate with it. I said, okay, you're going to put this in Schrodinger's equation and then state that Schrodinger's equation is debunked. That's what I thought you were going to do initially. So we got there eventually.
Well, so it's okay if it's an illegitimate inquiry. Then I'll leave.
It's not an illegitimate inquiry. It's a convention. That's all it is. The speed of light.
It seemed legit to me. That the reason I asked you to elaborate was it seemed legitimate in relation to the delayed choice.
Sure.
I thought you had a point there to elaborate on that. To then go to Schrodinger is just
right.
So, is it?
Oh no, that was to make the comparison with the use of that thing, the speed of light being known and a known factor, right? If it delegitimizes the equation, I would think using it in some way to describe or explain, I don't know the confusion with those two terms, to do anything to analyze what took place in an experiment at that speed of the travel of the light from one mirror to the next was a part of that. I'm just wondering how it affects the experiment itself.
It doesn't.
I'm confused now because
one
minute you're saying I want to query whether the speed of light means you can attack an equation, and then you're also saying, can I attack and get me if I'm wrong, tell me wrong, but you're also saying in the same breath that if an equation is used within an experimental setup, and that's using the speed of light, that invalidates the experiment. But they seem to be two different points. I'm not sure which one you're making, if either. But so can you clarify there?
Well, I think this is probably where I have to go back and hone what I'm looking for. I thought I would probably get different answers today, but once I've gotten, just tells me I've got to go back, and I'll come back another time with it. I'm just trying to sort things out in my own head. Well, so thanks anyhow.
Well, let's just change what's being fired. Let's fire buckyballs. If light's a big problem, let's use something else.
Yeah, material, right?
Yeah, we'll just use something else. It's going to act the same way. Then what's going to be the argument?
Okay.
Didn't we? As well. I remember researching this, but this is years old, isn't it? One of the biggest molecules that you can do it with.
It's
huge. Buckminster Fuller ball is quite large, but I'm sure they got it with even larger, more complex, because it's beautiful, isn't it?
But they don't travel. But they won't. They don't travel at the speed of light, right?
Does that help
and
your
we are
case?
dealing with light, and we are dealing with light.
Does that help?
I'm sorry?
Does that help? The speed they're traveling at. You want them to go really slow. The bigger they are, the slower they need to go in a way.
Oh no, but I thought the quantum stuff was all about light.
It's not.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
okay. Okay, that's fine. Then that's probably where I have to make an adjustment. Okay, thanks.
No, that's what we've just babbled a bit there, probably incoherently. That this applies, as Betty said, you can apply it to matter. You can still get these effects.
I think the biggest one was there was the record holder. I went over it some time ago. Let me see if I can't scare that up.
Meanwhile, I shout out some super chats. Got 2 of them.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum says, thanks, Kiwi. I don't know for what, but thanks. And James Richard says, why are the best Flat Earth shows always live while I'm at work? Yeah.
Yeah, James was inquiring about the shows and stuff, so I gave him an update. I know he works during the day. It's a difficult situation.
Yeah.
But we'll keep on
could
doing
move
Saturdays.
to the UK.
Yeah, move to a different time zone.
Move to a different
it'd have
country,
to
right?
work.
That's your solution for James. Move to a different country.
Take your job with you. Yeah. No, that's not a nice answer.
No, it's not.
No. Maybe you should get a job and do it in the evenings for your evenings.
Maybe I should get a job. I knew she was going to turn it around.
Yeah. What? See how I did that?
Yes.
Right, huh?
I
Did
was,
you find it already?
I was
We're
wondering
waiting.
what type of incoherent trail you were going to use.
You have to come back with such a thing after you lost. Big
After
time,
you
man.
lost.
Yeah, big time. Too funny. Everybody sees.
I can't focus on you right now. I'm trying to scare up that largest
Well,
molecule.
you can only do one thing as a guy. I know.
Yeah. It's hard to do
What's
that
your
well.
breathing? What's your breathing?
It's hard to do that well, too. I don't have to worry about that. The autonomic nervous system takes care of that, love.
Oh, sweetheart, I know, but maybe for you it might be different. Have you found it already?
I have not.
We waiting. It seems you don't get your stuff right anymore, and you don't seem to find it. Where's your script, John?
I don't have a script, love.
You're pulling it up right now.
It's not a script. I'm telling you, I don't have to. Let me ask you a question. I know. Go ahead. Start laughing. You always have me explain this nonsensical horseshit. So, what would be the benefit of only me having the script? Isn't, when you're having an act, everyone should be a part of the script and have. So the script is useless in isolation.
No, I mean, you are so good and so thought through that you already know how people are responding before they're responding. You had that with Humble V8. You immediately knew where he was going to go, and you have that script right up.
That's not a.
Yeah, you have basically a
not a
script for
script.
any response.
That's
on
not
any
a script.
On the flat.
That is not a script.
Yeah, that is a script.
No, it's not.
You
Define script.
Yeah, it's scripted how you will respond to a certain questions, and there's only so much questions.
Yeah, no, there's many questions, and they come from different areas, from different directions.
All the things that we already talked about.
Jesus.
Yeah. You can't win, John. Just give it up.
I always win.
No, you have to give it up.
All right.
Have you found it already?
Nah, I'm getting closer.
Oh, wow.
I got a lot of quantum mechanics information, and it's not that it's disjointed. It's in different spots.
It is disjointed.
Which means it's disjointed, yes.
You just debunked your own.
I found it.
Wow. People hang flags down the poles. Raise them up.
people hang flags down the poles. What, you just made that shit up.
That's a sort of a Dutch expression. Put your flag outside.
All right, let's see it. So,
Hmm.
oh, I forgot to share it on Discord.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Share your screen.
Yeah. Suffering succotage.
There you go.
Yep.
So this is quantum interference of large organic molecules, Nature Communications. This is from, boy, this is dated. That one was from 2011, but the current record holder is this guy right here from 2013. Now, I think it was like 2 years ago I went trying to update this, but I couldn't find anything. So go ahead.
No, nothing.
So as you can see, this molecules is 10,000 AMUs. This is carbon, 284 carbon. Oh my goodness gracious, boy. So you seeing this, Adam?
Yeah, I was just looking there. See, I told you it was a lot bigger than a buckyball, didn't I?
Yeah.
430 atoms. Buckyball's like 60, isn't it? 72, I don't know, 60 or something.
I thought it was 60 or 80, right? The fullerene.
Yeah, but it's less than 100. And I knew it was a lot bigger than that. That's monstrous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the point, H. It says displays quantum interference.
Yep. So there you go. That's the current record holder for right now. Until I can update this, I don't know if there's an update to it.
I remember somebody asking you. I think it was epistemology. Epistemology?
Yeah, say that again 3 times.
Epistemology.
All right,
Okay.
fair enough. Good job.
I remember, it's only a theoretical thing, but they were saying basically you could throw an orange, a peach or something. If you could
That was
throw
my
it
thing, Adam. I
slow
was not
enough.
allowing to continue.
You're getting rumpus, Adam, because
No, I was rumpused. I was just in the middle of something. A guy asking you back in the day that if he shot a gun to slits,
yeah.
if that same effect would happen, and then also with basketballs and that sort of stuff. And then what did you say back then?
That's that. What did I say, Betty? Since you were there listening to it,
I said that. I think you said something like, "Our eyes are not attenuated that well."
That's not. It's part of the answer, but it's not exactly what I told him back.
That's why I'm asking you.
It's a size issue.
Yeah, that's usually with guys. Yeah, it's a size issue with guys.
Well, I left that hanging watermelon-sized curveball out there for you, and you didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So there is a ratio between the particles that you're using, the distance away from the slit, and how wide the slits are. There's an issue with that. So it has to be at a certain parameter. Right? So it would be it would take it wouldn't be feasible to do it with like a bullet or a basketball. It's just too big. Sam's meat market. You kill him, we'll chill him.
To stay with Betty's analogy, the bigger it is, slower it has to move to exert a quantum effect. My understanding. So there is a limitation to the point where the actual possible, probably more in a quantum way, the possible paths open to the molecule are still defined in a quantum way, aren't they? They're not. You couldn't go to. We're still dealing with the size of atoms, even though that's a huge molecule. We're still dealing on the atomic scale, not on the physical human scale. And at that scale, I don't know. It'd have to be moving ridiculously slow, and then that's the next criticism. What's the slit for that? Because it's about possible quantum places the thing can appear. We've got an orange, I suppose. It's there, isn't it? It's already physically manifested. This is about possible paths.
That was profound, Adam.
Kind of worked through it halfway. Hopefully that helps H understand. So a photon, at the speed it can go, got 0 molecular weight at all. I mean, so it can go that fast and still exert that effect. That's my kind of understanding. And as you go into those larger molecules, they need to go a bit slower to exert that effect.
I'm trying to find something. I probably already passed it up. I think it was on here. It was done by the I can't remember. It was so long. Just carry on. Let me see if I can find it.
No, I'm out, mate. All I had was what I remember reading. I'm surprised you've saved anything on it, because it's I don't know what it proves other than it exerts outside of photon that this quantum effect happens. But
yes, it was right underneath what I just. Of course, it had to be right underneath. Here, I'll throw it over there. So from Seed Magazine, but that wasn't it. This came from the Physical Chemical Society or something. I can't exactly recall, but I got it from Seed Magazine. Let's see what they have to say. Late last year, Bruckner and Koffler showed that it does not matter how many particles are around or how large an object is. Quantum mechanics always holds true. The reason we see our world as we do is because of what we use to observe it. The human body is just barely adequate measuring device. Quantum mechanics does not always wash itself out, but to observe its effects for larger and larger objects, we would need more and more accurate measuring devices. We just do not have the sensitivity to observe the quantum mechanic effects around us. In essence, we do create the physical world we perceive, as Bruckner said. There could be other classical worlds. Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, and the carbon-60, that is the fullerene or the buckyball. So that's carbon-60. There you go, Betty. Did I answer your question?
It was 60, was it? Oh, sorry.
Well, it clarifies a lot, right?
Well, they didn't get too detailed. If I wanted to go into it, I could. I just don't feel like it right now.
What do you feel like?
I just feel like vegging.
Vegging?
You asked. I'm being honest. I just feel like vegging.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those days. I wasn't at the top of my game this morning. Well, I woke. It's not that I'm under the weather. I just feel like blah.
Shit.
No.
Like blah.
Blah. Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
It's supposed to be an open panel. Open it up then. Relax.
Betty opened it up
question
earlier.
From H, to be fair. That was a good chat you formed there, Humble H.
It was a little disjointed. Sorry about that. I'm just, like I said, I'm not at the top of my game today.
Well, at least you entered into it. Go on.
Well, what you were reading there was kind of interesting to me, because this is a part of my journey here, because are you acquainted with a fellow named John Hagelin?
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, he gets into this stuff too, and again, it's really a question back as to whether light even travels, or is there something else happening? And I think Tom Campbell in this My Big Toe stuff.
I know him.
Yeah, interesting guy.
Yeah, he had a couple good presentations on the double slit experiment. I don't think he went into anything deeper like delayed choice or disconnected choices or anything like that. But his explanations were pretty good. I think he went off the reservation a little bit. Don't quote me on that, and I can't be specific. Maybe I shouldn't speculate. I don't really follow anyone. I just notice them in the periphery, and sometimes I'll go through their stuff and say, "Oh, okay, I got you," and then move on. So I'm not. Do you follow me?
Oh no, this guy Campbell, he's now working on his own lab. He's bringing in people. I think he's got like a PayPal or one of these things to collect funds to do these experiments. And
What experiment?
oh, the double slit experiments. And he's getting deep into it. It's quite interesting. I don't know when the last time you checked him out, but yeah, his my big toe is getting bigger.
The traditional double slit is actually not an experiment.
Well, whatever you call it, or they call it, I'm just knowing he's collecting funds to get
Yep,
deeper
you already said
into
that.
this.
We got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I listened to him, and he makes like some interesting statements. He would say that the math shows that the Earth is spherical.
Who? Tom Campbell's starting to talk what the Earth looks like?
Yeah. This is again, and this is when I'm saying
get his ass on here.
Well, no, he's into this. Oh man, my words are going.
That's okay.
Did you say John Hagelin?
Yes, John Hagelin. Yes, Hagelin.
Physicist, transcendental meditation.
Yeah, that's where I ran into that guy from. Do you have a picture of him? I need a picture.
He's right now. He's balding a little bit at top, and but Tom Campbell is into that stuff too, right?
I have no idea. Like I said, I don't follow these people, man. When you said he started talking about things about the Earth, then that raised a weathered eye. So spell his last name again. It's Haglin.
Hagelin. On, yeah, he's gone full on sort of Buddhism sort of thing, right?
Oh, I know him. I've seen him. Yeah. I've seen. Now, I don't follow him, but I've seen him once or twice in interviews with, goodness gracious, what's his name? Oh, boy. I'll think of it. Please continue.
Oh. Well,
guess where Hagelin was born?
You've got me.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I looked over and it struck me. Sorry, please continue.
Like I'm trying to stay out of trouble here, but
you're not going to get into any trouble. Say what you got to say.
Well, okay. In describing on one of your videos about setting up this experiment and leaving and going on vacation. Oh man, see, okay, I'll leave it alone.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, on the other day, was it yesterday? I don't think maybe the day before yesterday. I went through that whole thing again.
What on Nathan's?
No, I think I was in Discord and somebody was asking me some questions and that popped up for some reason. I can't remember the situation. So what's the problem with that?
Oh no, I think I may have been misunderstood, because I think I made a statement that says that the person has an effect on what happens with the collapse. Because I think you mentioned that once an experiment has been set up, a person can go away to Jamaica, I think,
Yep.
and the place will burn down.
No, you got to get very specific. So you have a physicist, right? He says, all this quantum mechanics is junk. But he's just been promoted to physicist of the world. And the university he's attending has given him his own lab, his own little complex, but it's detached away. Not detached away, but it's detached from the administrative building where his office is. So he says, okay, let's go ahead and test this out. So he sets up a double slit experiment, and he has detectors on the one slit. You only have to have one detector on one slit. You don't need them on two, because if it doesn't pass through one, or if it passes through one, you know it didn't pass through the other, if you follow that. But I digress. So he has a detector on there. So he says, I'm going to do this 500 times, do this experiment. And each and every single time that he had that slit detector there and it was gathering the path information, every single time on that detector, he would get 2 columns, right? So it's taken him a long time to get through 499, but it's time to go on vacation. So he decides he wants to go to Jamaica, man. So he says, well, the heck with this. I've run it 499 times. You know, I could do it 500. What's the difference? You know, I'm still going to get the same answer, but I'll do it anyway, but I'm not going to be here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this experiment on a timer. All right, I'm going to set it on a timer. I'm going to lock that lab. And he has the only key. The janitors can't get in. It's going to stay stuffy and musty the whole time he's in Jamaica. It doesn't matter. As soon as so he hits the switch, and then he locks the door behind him. No one goes in the room. No one's looking at it. The experiment is running. He goes to Jamaica. But while he's doing that, what he did was, before he left, was he took all this computer that was attached to the detector. He routed that to his office computer. So all that information about what was happening in this experiment while he was in Jamaica, all those results were going to his office computer in the administrative building. You following me up to now?
Yep.
Yes? Hello out there.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. So he goes to Jamaica. About 6 days later, he says, okay, I've about had enough of this. You know, island life's, getting to me, because it's a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. Right? So he jumps on a plane, and just before he lands, his secretary calls and tells him that the administrative building's on fire. And he's there, oh my God, gets off the plane, drives out to the university, and the administrative building is burned down. Everything is destroyed, right? His computer, everything that was on his computer, everything in his office, the whole building's totaled. Now, that information was in his computer, right? About the path information. It was there, but no one looked at it. He didn't look at it. He was on vacation. He didn't want to deal with that stuff. He was just going to wait till he got back. He didn't look at it. So it was stored on that computer, and now it's gone. It's totally destroyed. No one looked at it. No one knew anything. So he's pretty bummed out, but his office getting destroyed. But he goes, glass is half full. My lab's still intact. So he starts, walking on over to his lab, walks through, the main door to get in, then goes into opens the door where the double slit experiment was, and he knows what's going to happen because he did this experiment 499 times before, and every single time he had 2 columns on the back wall. So he opens up the door, and he looks at the screen, and what does he see?
Mickey Mouse?
He sees an interference pattern and he passes out, and they have to call an ambulance to take him away because we're off the reservation here, folks. Out here, there be monsters. Good.
The messes with your melon, that one.
Yes,
Actually
it does.
through.
There is a lot of ancillary questions that should be being asked.
But the question that I had is, what if the janitor went into that room?
Then it's over. Then he knows. Then it can't revert back. You can't change anything.
2 columns.
Yep. Once it's known, once it's established, then you can't do anything about it. Follow?
And the question then becomes, does the janitor affect?
No. No, the janitor doesn't do anything. As long as the janitor looks at that pattern on the wall and that information is still being stored in that computer, that it's retrievable, you're going to get 2 columns there. It doesn't have anything to do with him. He didn't do anything. All he did was mosey on in to clean up the floor or something. He's just all. You're allowed to participate in the game, but you don't control the game.
Okay, because by time Campbell is done with it, he's got the cat in Schrodinger's.
No, let's not go off this. I'm not going off to a different fucking cat from Campbell. Let's deal with what I just said.
Okay.
On that, H. This is, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, but this is the point. That the bloke goes in, right? But because the witch path has been recorded, then there has to be a definitive path established. So you'll get 2 lines when the janitor goes in. Because nobody went in. There's no knower who need to establish the path, even though it's been recorded. When the building's burnt down and the experimental setup was exactly the same, the only thing that's happened is nobody's been given access and the information has been destroyed before any knower needs to know what the pattern is. And that's the bit that bends my head. Is that right?
Yeah, because it's truly disturbing because while he was on vacation and while the information still existed, you would think that that is a permanent, hard 2 columns on that wall that's being established, right? You can't change it. It's happening. You're not there, but it's happening, but then it's not actually happening.
When I only did the first year of A-level physics. This was second year. I always remember when we were doing stuff, you were banned from this room. It was the second year one doing double slit. It was crucial that. And it's grasping. I don't know as I grasp it. I don't tend to grasp it. I'm in awe of it, I think, more than anything. I have to accept it.
Does everyone else? Did I lose anyone, or is anyone else tracking this? Is everything lining up?
I think so.
Because it's truly disturbing, that part of it, right? Because that goes against your basic intuition. Just because he left that room shouldn't mean squat. Because it should be permanent. Those marks on that wall should still be there, regardless of him being there. Doesn't matter. What, does the experiment just turn off? No, he set the timer on it. It's still going.
Yep, truly amazing.
Another one was, and maybe this might be Tom Campbell's example. I think this might possibly be his example. That let's say you have a group of pseudoscience astronomers, right? And they all go to an island and they're looking up at the sky and they see the star for the first time. And they all document it. They're there for a week. They watch it every single night. They even name it, right? But it's the first time that it's ever been seen. No one has ever seen this before. Let's say it was in the, 1900s, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So they mark everything down, but all that information about this star is within the walls of where they're at. So everyone, all the astronomers, they have their paper notes. There aren't any computers. They're not sending out any text or anything. They're isolated. So let's say a meteor comes down and friggin' blows that with everyone. I know this is a little risky. It's probably not appropriate. Probably shouldn't use this example, but it killed everyone. And it destroyed all the information about that star and where it was. If somebody else would look up in the sky, that star doesn't have to be there. I think that's the example that Campbell used way, way back in the day. It's similar to my the physics guy in the lab. Yeah,
I remember it as you and Nathan seeing an island and then going off, and then next person that comes by, the island isn't there.
It doesn't have it doesn't necessarily have to be there. Yes, I used that example too. Me and Nathan, and no one's ever been. Let's say we're on a island out in the Pacific that no one's ever been to, and on that island we look off to the west. And Nathan and I are the only ones on the island. We look off to the west and we see another island 2 miles away. It's not even refracted. Let's say that a meteor hits, it's going to be the same routine, right? Let's say a meteor hits and doesn't destroy the island, but destroys us. And all that information is lost about that island off the west coast. Guess what? If somebody else comes down there, that island that we saw doesn't have to be there. See, this goes back to way back in the day between the argument between Einstein and Bohr about whether the moon was actually there or not. If you go back in the literature, it says this is tentacles all the way back there. It's the same concept. Yeah. Cool.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it when they take it there. Yeah, it's bullshittery. It's if a tree falls in the woods, do you hear it? Nonsense.
You don't like that one. That's a good one.
No,
I do that at
any of it.
I do that at parties. Stop rumpusing me. I do that at parties. You know what my answer is.
Go on.
Say it again.
As if if a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody there, did it even fall?
Okay, I'm gonna do it without the mumble. If a tree falls in the woods,
I got back in the chair.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's there, does it make a sound? The answer is no, and there is no friggin' tree. I love that one.
Well, don't you come to the point where you are a brain in a vat sort of motif thing?
No, that's not solipsism.
Why not?
Because you're not the only one. It's a shared reality. Because now listen, remember I made the caveat. With all those examples, well, mainly just relax. Mainly with the island example, I said that Nathan and I were the only ones to see that island, or those astronomers were the only ones ever to see those stars. See where I'm going with that? Because
Yeah.
if there was somebody else that knew that they were there, then everything that I just said about, the meteor coming down or me and Nathan getting quashed out of existence wouldn't matter. It would still be there. So
Still don't like it. Still don't. You see, it's not there or not there. It's the which path. Yeah.
no.
Now,
Which path
how
of
that-
what?
which path to make the pattern or non-pattern?
Oh,
how
you're
that
on to
we
a
want to
different. It's connected, but it's different. Okay, go ahead.
But it's that movement from what is established through experiment, these theoretical things that aren't necessarily even relevant to the quantum world. Whether an island's there or not
Right.
is a fact. Whether a star is there or not is a fact, right? I'm going to change that. It has to be there for you to have seen it. Other people will be able to see it. Same with an island. This is not about whether or not you see the photographic plate have things on it. You do in both cases. It's what pattern is
Yeah,
the outcome based on the knowledge.
Yeah,
Very different that for me.
I should have said something about that. I mentioned it probably once or twice before along in many years, and I mentioned it the other day. This is a very important point about this wave pattern, this collective wave pattern that you see on the screen. And I know this is hard for a lot of people. I got it immediately. It was just dumb luck that I caught on to it immediately. Let me try to translate what that means. What that's saying is, if you see an interference pattern on that back wall or the detector, that if the detector was not there, nothing would exist. Follow? I'm not saying nothing in the universe would exist. I'm saying whatever was going in that direction, what that's trying to tell you is that it's not, things don't exist in waves, is what I'm trying to say.
Doesn't this also go against the multiverse theory?
That's not a theory, that's a speculation they got from a fucking comic book.
I mean, the colloquial theory. I mean, if you have a multiverse, they say, well, if you chose a different outcome for something,
Yeah.
I have choices for I go left the door or I go right, to the right side or to the door, right?
Yes.
And have a different path. So the path not taken doesn't even exist in this genre, right? It means that you can't have multiverse versus anyhow because those paths aren't collapsing into material.
I don't know.
Yeah, because you have these people that think that multiverses
Good God.
is every other choice that someone could make but didn't make, and you might have not made it in this world, but you made it in another world.
Yeah.
That other world.
Yeah, you already said that. You're just repeating yourself.
So, but when you say this and you say all these things now, that if you didn't see it, and then it wasn't there, and then that sort of goes against the whole multiverse thing, in my opinion.
Well, just common sense goes against the multiverse. One came from a comic book. Number two, show me one other universe. You can't. It's just a fairy tale speculation. But what they say is every possibility every possibility plays out in these thousands of multiverses, which is moronic. I mean, it goes against everything. Occam's razor's utterly sacrificed. Ground squirrel level reasoning, and their imagination is beyond the forest of azure. I do
like the imagination, though.
What?
I do like the imagination about multiverses. I can't go there in my mind's eye, but apparently the whole thing with quantum mechanics is against it.
Yeah,
Seems.
it gained some following there. What was his name? Everett. I just remember Everett. And the champion now is Sean Carroll. I don't hear too many people talking about it besides Sean Carroll and Brian Greene, but I think Brian Greene just parrots what Sean Carroll says. So on the multiverses, but that started with a guy named Everett, and I think he had a pretty bad demise, if I'm not mistaken. Everett, let me see, Everett and multiverses. I'll type that in. That's many worlds,
fiction.
right? Hugh Everett, that was his name. And Hugh Everett abandoned the world of academic physics. Something bad happened to him, I think. According to his work, we are living in a multiverse of countless universes, full of copies of each of us. Oh, boy. Yeah. There you go. And he first proposed it in 1957. And he probably got it from that 1940 comic book. I have that annotated somewhere, but boy, it would take me a long time to find it.
I think people think that this is just like these geniuses that think of these.
Yeah.
But I think that I've come up with this myself without even hearing it from a comic book or like a scientist or whatever.
Prove that.
Well, there you go. I mean, there has to be 2 witnesses apparently. I mean, the typewriter was also discovered or like invented on 2 continents at the same time, without people knowing it from each other, right? People come up with stuff because the information, which you're going to talk about next time, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
You like that idea?
Yeah, because I think it's very much on topic now. I mean, if people can come up with the same thing, there is some sort of an information field, maybe God or the Holy Spirit or whatever is conveying it to us, right? We are just copycats of God. I mean, things that God can do is like immense, and we can just do what He gives us in the material.
I think you're all over the place. You're losing it.
Yeah, you losing it. You're losing me. You lose, right?
You're
because
just losing it, woman.
What?
You're losing it. That was disconnected.
Because you don't understand, then you immediately say that I lose it, right?
I think I know what you're trying to say, but it's not coming out the way it should.
Yeah, the thing is that you guys wanted it in a piece of nice structured information.
Sure.
This what?
Sure, we like coherency.
Yeah, you lose any other creativity with it.
Now that's not a nice thing to say.
Well, that you got right from the mind that I have.
I have
to shout out a super channel.
A super channel.
A super channel. We're gonna go there. It's from James Richard, and he says, "What's the panel's prediction of when the world will figure it out?" Flat Earth, in brackets.
They won't.
The whole world?
They won't.
Not before the end comes, and then Jesus comes back, and then He will show Himself. And people think that will be on television, that He will be televised. I like that.
No, It's a good question, James. Now, I'm just speculating, but I'm making pretty an educated speculation about the future, and I don't see it. For a number of reasons. And it depends on your epistemology. In my epistemology, and epistemology is how do we know what we know? Now, if you don't have like a biblical acumen in prophecy or the end times, things like that, then it's not going to make any sense to you, and you're going to dismiss everything that I say. And that's fair. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I usually keep those things to myself, but since you brought it up, I don't see that. It's not in Scripture. Now, it could be indirectly in Scripture, but that's for another show. It could be indirectly, but the topic is indirectly, not the slant that you had on it, like people finding out. It's used in a different. Well, I'm going to have to get into this if I say it.
Well, it said in the Bible that knowledge will increase in the end times.
Yeah, but that's too general. I'm talking about hyper specific.
That's the point, isn't it? It says the knowledge will increase, but it doesn't say, and yay, retards will awaken.
I don't think that God talks about retards.
No, what I'm being flippant there. Do you get my point? The knowledge becoming apparent is the journey I think most people listening are on. Doesn't mean that everybody listens and changes their behavior based on that. No, this doesn't say how much it grows. It doesn't grow to the masses, does it? It doesn't say it becomes predominant. It's, as you say, it's a little vague. All you can do is listen to that and think, what does that resonate to me? Is there knowledge there I should be listening to?
All right, this is
where you get to the point. Sorry, John, just to get to the point where the wise will be foolish and the foolish will be wise, and that's the world and realm we're in. There's not a better topic to make the wise foolish and the foolish wise, is there?
Is that your point?
Yeah, I got there in the end, didn't I?
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
I can take that in the end.
Okay, this is my take on it. The part where he says the Lord will send a strong delusion so that they will believe a lie in the context of the end times. Yeah. It's my
knowledge.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
It's my conjecture, an educated guess, that strong delusion has been being sent for a while now. And the delusion is, I'm going to connect it here, is the heliocentric model. Because they need the heliocentric model so they can have their friggin' aliens. The evolution, the Big Bang, all that stuff, the globe Earth, all that stuff. I think I've went over this in the past and connected everything. We may do another show specifically on this.
You link that to my passage very nicely. Those two link very well to me. Yeah, because the wise today are those that believe in the heliocentric model. We are fools.
Okay. The scary part is that where did the delusion come from? Who sent it?
Exactly. It was imparted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to look historical, this is what we're doing with celestial navigation. We can start to see where the knowledge of the skies is corrupted to describe a ball. We can see where this is coming in. We were chatting on Flat Earth Debate today.
Jeez.
Doing bits of history bits. That's the interesting part for me now, seeing where this illusion of the wise has been put in.
Who sent it, though? Because they were all reprobate, who sent it?
If you're following scripture, you mean?
Yes. Oh, hold on a second.
God sent it.
So God sent it. Right? So if God sent it, then nothing can overturn it. Y'all getting it? So it will not be. So the answer to that question, if everything else follows, then it won't become mainstream. James is what I'm trying to say. It's part of the delusion, and God sent it to him because they were reprobate. So he said, okay, you want to believe all these evolutionary fairy tales, all this heliocentric bullshit? You want to believe all that stuff without any evidence? When I told you to prove everything, then, okay, you want to believe? I'm going to make you believe it more.
You're more describing it as an opportunity, another opportunity for you to see light. To the point that the plan was to construct the paradigm to tell you it was a bull, so that you could see that it's not.
Yeah, and it's all
What are you
connected.
saying?
It's all connected to in the end time. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Adam. It's all connected in the end times. We got to understand Daniel, and you got to understand Revelation, and you got to understand what the Lord said when people asked him, you know, what's it going to be like, right? And what did Jesus tell him? It's going to be just the same as the days of Noah were. Well, what were the days of Noah were? Well, you had these frigging angels, you know, taking some liberties with their female companions, right? It's going to all happen again. Jesus even said it. And then you go to Daniel, and yep, Daniel's talking about that. Go to Daniel 2, chapter 40, 41, 42, and 43. Go in there, see it for yourself. It's right there. Right? So what do you need to fool people that they're aliens? You need the heliocentric model. You need the globe earth. You need fairy tale evolution. All of them, the Big Bang, all of it is they're all together. They're not separate things. They build off each other. They're steps for each other. You go to one, the other one helps you out. This is some deep stuff we're into now. See, Betty, I thought you said I lacked substance.
Well, you have your moments. Yeah.
I don't know if Righteous is listening, and maybe he could check that scripture for us. But
What? As the
I
days
think
of Noah were, the coming of the Son of Man will be? That scripture?
oh no, the one on the delusion. And I'm not arguing with your scent, but I think there's more of a sense of he allows it to go among them. But
he says he sends it.
he sends it. Okay, I'm not arguing. I can't pull my scripture up, but now, yeah, I'll have to stay with you then. Okay.
I'll have to stay with
Yes.
you. You don't have to stay with me. Just go look at it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying I'm not. Yeah, maybe my thinking of the scripture off my head was wrong. That's
Let me
all.
see
Yeah.
if I can. Let me see if I can scare it up.
Mm.
That's why you're pulling it up, QA. As you said that, it's just that. I don't think we're miles apart, me and you, dude. It's a house of cards. And you're saying that God put it there, that whatever the plan, everything's God's plan. But this is another opportunity. And you talk about evolution, it's very hard for a layman to necessarily disprove evolution, these things, but it's within the remit of man to look out across where he's at, yeah? And once that, and that's certainly for me, you know, I said, why did I buy a P900? I said, so I could see it. I could see it myself. And it's within the remit of man to see the Earth's not a ball. And once that first card is pulled from the house of cards, the rest do fall. Evolution, heliocentrism, the rest. It depends which route you want to go. But eventually it all falls. So I like that it's an opportunity, this, for the end times. Is that how I'm interpreting what you're saying?
Yes, I got it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to read verse 1 through 12, I think. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. So this tells you that we're dealing with the end times. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there become a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Hopefully you guys know who that is. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. I like that. Only only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. That's the Holy Spirit, by the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness. Wow, that's a heavy word right there. I forgot about that. With all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Game, set, match. So, now it's not game, set, and match for what I said the delusion was. That is my educated speculation for what that is. Okay? Good?
Your speculation.
Educated speculation. I connected it.
Oh my god, these bywords are nice to get them in front of it, and then it totally changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also that God says basically that my people are dying for lack of knowledge,
Correct.
right? And that's sort of connected to that.
Correct.
But also that there will be an increase of knowledge, and I think that's amongst his own, right? His people that have already chosen him. So there's basically going to be a sort of a split between the people that know and the people that don't know.
Yes.
Right.
So, but the answer to James's question is it will never become mainstream. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah. It will become mainstream at the very end.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Good call, Betty. Way to go out on a limb.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Look at that.
People should ask for wisdom and knowledge. That's the first thing you need to ask God for, because anything else is basically an add-on to that.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Because if you have knowledge and wisdom, you at least knowledge is just information and all kinds of information. Anything can be knowledge. Also, with the book of the Harry Potter, for example, it can be knowledge, right? But it's not the information that you want. You want to have wisdom with it. That makes it to be special. I mean, you have your wits about you. You know what's coming down the pike, so to speak.
Yep.
Don't know. If you don't know what's ahead of you, how can you ever take care of things? If you didn't know what the past was, also then you are like lost, right? And they want to erase the past so badly for us, so we don't go back to cultural things, to community things, and just go back to the family, which is a big thing. They want us to be detached, totally detached from one another. And the day is basically the devil and his minions, right? And that's what's happening right now. And people let it happen. We shouldn't. We should unite.
That's inspiring.
Yeah. So,
Adam.
Go to Element.
Go to Element. Thanks, Betty. Boy, that connected. Adam.
Yeah, I like that. You didn't go where I thought you was going to go, but I liked it.
Is it starting to see a little bit? I should do a whole show on that.
What
I said we're very close on this. And I'll quote Thessalonians again, but 1 chapter 5, 12 to 22 if I can. To probably show where I don't know. I don't as I've probably said before, I don't try to predict end times. Sorry, my bao one's just arrived there. I don't know whether I'm blessed enough to be in them, to put it honestly. Wow, how blessed must you be to be in those times? No? I'll go to 1 Thessalonians 5, which ends with my point, I suppose, in terms of where I think we are and what God's asking you to do, which is, so and it's kind of subtitled "Be at Peace," which I've not noticed before, but this was the bit that what I should do. And we beseech you, brethren, to know that them which labour among you and are over you in the Lord and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake. Be at peace among yourselves. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them they are unruly, comfort them the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient towards all men. See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. Rejoice evermore. Pray without ceasing. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Quench not the spirit. Despise not prophesying. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
Love it.
And abstain from all appearance of evil. That's always been a guiding light since refinding biblical stuff, getting into flat Earth. It's been a way of being. And as much as you know me and Paul, that's one of the best things that I think is a great guide to just guide you through these times, because it tells you how to be.
What did he say? Prove all things.
Yeah, and that's the point, to others early on, and then fundamentally at the end to yourself.
Then stand fast to what that is good. Stand fast, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I remember saying that to Cathexis one day. He couldn't believe it because he'd never heard it before. Remember that, Betty? I think I said it. I said, and I can't remember the context it was in, but I think I was making some kind of comparison, juxtaposition with what people say what religion is and what God said about prove all things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was that context, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Cathexis, yes. Where is he?
I'm not going down to where is Cathexis Lane. The point was prove all things, Betty.
Where is Cathexis?
Mm.
Prove where it is. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I
prove
know
all
you do.
things.
I'm just messing with you.
I know. It's a good. The whole scripture. There's so many gems in the Bible. It's so beautiful.
Well, that's a powerful one because remember, Cathexis was an atheist for the longest time. He was shocked that was a command in Scripture. Shocked. In fact, he stopped the show and said, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. You better wait a minute.
I don't think so. I don't think that Cathexis is an atheist anymore.
No, he was an atheist for the longest time.
No, but I wanted to stress that he is not, because, and I think that in his early lifetimes he also had been in Christianity sort of knowledge about that. But every youngster has a sort of a time of rebellion, huh? But we need to come back. And most people don't come back from their rebellious ways. And then that strong delusion comes over them, and then, they'll be caught by that.
What's the strong delusion?
What's a strong delusion? You tell me.
I already told you. We spent the last 45 minutes of the show talking about it.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like now what we are being told, that people can have multiple genders, for example. I think that's a delusion.
Well, it's a delusion, but that's not the strong delusion.
Well, it's strong enough. If you can let people believe that you're not you anymore, then that's the thing.
That doesn't fit. It doesn't fit within that scripture.
You say that, but it's more elaborate. Don't.
No, it's not. No, it's it could be. It's not speaking to that specifically. No.
No, you say that. I see more.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I do. It's a
Have I
feminine.
opened myself
She's
up to
more.
admonishment, John?
Say again. I heard admonishment. I like that word.
Only when you read scripture.
Could we admonish?
Excuse me.
Can we do some admonishing on Betty?
Oh, I'm opening myself up to it. Take it away from Betty. Give it.
That's no fun.
Well, I know, but she's a lady.
Fair enough. Go on. Sorry to rumpus you. Continue.
I started my spiel with saying, "Oh, I don't necessarily read the Bible, and trying to figure out when the end times are." And my point was to get to 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things, hold fast, that which is good. Like I say, when you read scripture, it kicks you in the nuts sometimes, because the verse before is 20, is despise not prophesying. And I started all that by kind of mitigating against any kind of prophecy. So thanks for sharing your prophecy with us, because that's when I think scripture's cool, where it affects how it just goes, oi, read this bit just before the bit you were about to make a point of, and it just throws you off for your apologetics.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Cool.
So you want to do a whole show about this?
You know what? I think I've already completed one a ways back. If I'm not mistaken, if it wasn't the whole show, it was a major part of it.
Well, I can't remember such a show.
It's been a while.
Well, maybe that would be the good one for the 100th of BALLBUSTERS. Huh?
Nah, we're gonna stick with information because I already announced it.
Oh, you're gonna do that for the BALLBUSTERS? Okay, yeah. Good.
Yeah, but let's don't let me forget about if that's one slides, Betty. Don't let me forget about that one.
Good. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I think we had a good show, didn't we?
Well, thank you.
It's pretty good if I get to read loads of Bible verse out without getting cut off or the show ending.
We'll get righteous on your butt.
Don't put the whole thing on you. I mean, what am I saying?
I don't know. I wish you'd get it out.
Nobody knows. How do you call it when someone is in the lights, in the shine light, or in the podium light?
In the stage lights?
Stage lights, yeah. Don't put yourself in the stage lights because of the scripture thing. He might mute you, even though you said that you were free to go today.
What the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, you usually mute Adam because he starts on scripture.
No. See, that's out of context. That is so out of context, and it broad brushes me as some type of bad guy. That is not correct.
You said I am the bad guy. You have to be more specific on which things you are the bad guy.
You know damn well what the context is behind that, and you failed to mention it. That's lying by omission.
Why do I feel like I'm a stepping stone for freaking everybody?
Because you make your own bed, sister.
Thanks, because I always do. Men can't make beds.
Oh, brother.
There you go.
I'll tell you what. I used to make my bed that they used to come by, and it was so tight that you bounce a quarter off it, it had to reach a certain height. So what the hell are you talking about?
Well,
hospital?
Have you ever had a cover for your comforter put on there?
We didn't have comforters in basic training, Betty.
Right, exactly. So you can't do it. So you haven't made a bed like a normal person.
I have in the past, though.
You haven't put a comforter in a cover.
No, I don't. No, and I don't make that.
That's the whole point.
That comforter is piled up in the middle of my bed right now.
Yeah, like unprotected and getting your sweaty ass in there.
Oh, come on. Let's keep this clean.
Yeah, I hope so. Clean that up. Clean that shit up, John.
Kitty's sleeping in it now. He's on the other side of the comforter.
Even worse, you're sleeping in your bed, for crying out loud.
See, Kitty likes to sleep on my bed during the day. I have a little spot for him. He goes over there. He likes to be near me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have a cover over my comforter so that I can clean that out.
I don't like the feel of those covers on the comforter. I like the comforter itself.
Yeah. Well, and it gets sweaty and dirty and nasty.
And that's when you buy another one.
Mites and stuff and like flora and fauna that you don't have there.
That's when you go buy another one.
Yikes. You have it that long?
I haven't changed it out yet. It's not that bad because I keep switching it and turning it.
It doesn't matter.
So my stinky ass is on one side and then the other night it's on the other side.
Yes, well, there you go. And then you turn it again and you lie right in sniffing it.
Thanks, Betty. Thanks for the visual.
Yes.
But back to the original. You red herring so far away from this topic. It's absolutely unbelievable. And it's commendable for you as a woman. Now that
Freaking funny.
because I used to make my bed and they used to come by and inspect it and they bounce quarters off that damn thing and it had to bounce. This is the whole 9 yards. This is hospital corners, everything down to I used to get underneath the bed and friggin' tug on those sheets to the center of the bed in between the rungs of the bed springs. And you're telling me I can't make a bed? I'll come over to the Netherlands and stomp a damn mud hole in your ass.
Sweetheart, did it lie comfortably? Or did you have to like loosen it up to get it comfort?
No, to get in it, that's not the point. You're going to red herring fallacy away from it again, aren't you?
It's also nice to lie in. It's more difficult than to just tighten it up like a rock.
We're not talking about when you get, yes, I had to loosen the damn thing up to get in it. It was almost like I short sheeted myself.
You're so on the opposite side defending yourself.
I'm so hostile.
Unbelievable, Johan. It's really like cute in a way.
Yep, that's what everyone calls me. Cute. Shit.
Yeah.
I had one guy, we were just talking about this before we went live, that one guy last night, he was on 24/7, a new guy into the genre. He had a small bit of an attitude, like a retard attitude. I didn't really go off on him, but every time that he would make a claim, I would drill it down to get him to be more hyper-specific and just rebut it quickly, poignantly. And after I did that like 5-6 times in a row, he goes, "You know what, Quantum Eraser? You're quite hostile." And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Are you saying that being poignant and honest and not putting up with any horse shit's hostile to you? And everyone just started dragging him around. But that's all they got left after that. I wanted to bring it up because we started talking about it just before we went live.
Well, unreceptive, hostile could be described as unreceptive to bullshit.
Unreceptive to bullshit. Yeah,
maybe
so.
that's not unreceptive. Maybe bullshit.
If you go on Flat Earth debates, that's when the appeal to format, which is what this is, comes out to Nathan. When your bullshit's being challenged, because it's so blatant bullshit that there's a level of excitement in your voice that's then interpreted as you being hostile and aggressive.
I think I said something like, just wait a second, Miggy, you'll go get you some hot chocolate and we'll rub your feet.
Do you ever provide the hot chocolate?
No, it's a metaphor.
Oh, too bad.
For snivel gear.
I wanted some.
Oh,
I got a
brother.
quick question.
She's going to red herring fallacy away again.
Somebody has a question.
Yeah, since we're all waxing philosophical and talking
We ain't
about
waxing
theology and this
philosophical. I
and
ain't waxing no philosophical yet.
that.
Don't want him.
The example of the tree falling in the forest, no one's around to hear it, right? And then like the island, those guys get killed. The island doesn't have to be there. And then the star, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if God is a knower, then wouldn't he know?
Why? Yeah, but what would that have to do with us?
Well,
He's the programmer, right? All those things. The laws and the rules that he's laid out for our reality doesn't apply to him.
right, but I guess what I'm trying to say is if he knows there's stars there, or if he knows the island's there, or if he knows the tree falls, isn't that?
How do
The
you
tree
know
makes a
that he
sound.
know? How do you know that he knows that?
You see,
Well, I'm assuming it from the omniscience. Like if God is omniscient, right? Then
Omniscient.
he would have to know.
Omniscient. Yeah, but those rules don't apply. Did you just hear what I said?
that's because you use the nonsense equilatives about islands and stuff like that. Stick
Oh.
with what's there, right? And right. First of all, but to just Bill, he's the creator. He set it up in a certain way. He's not going to set it up in case he wants to take a cheeky little peek at what that A-level student's doing in that lab. But it would pervert the rules that he set up. He sits outside of the rules. So whether he looks or not is kind of irrelevant to the rules.
Yeah. Does that explain it to you? Because you just repeated the same claim without actually taking in what I said.
Well, you said the rules don't apply to him, but
There is
rules
no
that he set-
buts. But there's no but that comes after that. What's your but?
What's your book? Behind him.
if a tree falls in the forest, it makes a sound because God
No, it
heard
doesn't. And there is no tree.
God made that tree. I saw
Show
it
your
yesterday.
butt.
I saw that tree yesterday. Next day, it's lying down.
But listen, if no one's
okay.
around in the forest, see, you're losing the plot. This is another red herring. So, but his point was a good one. But I didn't want. His point was a good one, but I thought I adequately explained, very simply, why his objection was non sequitur.
How about mine?
Everything you say is non sequitur. I just said that just for an effect. It's not. Almost everything you say is non sequitur.
Oh hell!
Bill, do you get the point that if God wrote these quantum rules, knowing that he was visible in everything, there would be no point in writing the quantum rule in the first place, because the fact that he knows everything means it would always render a particular way.
Yep.
When he writes them with the knowledge that he will know whether or not it will be revealed, that information, not him overviewing everything will force a rendering.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Simply yes.
This is why I hate quantum stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah, because it forces you. Number one, you have to have an acumen in it, number one. So that takes many years. Number two, there are many, how would you say, tentacles and deep arguments. Like he said, waxing philosophical, if we can call philosophical arguments. I know what you mean when you say that, although it's not actually philosophy. I digress. But there's a lot of very deep arguments that come out. not only arguments, I don't want to put it in that vein, but very deep concepts that are hard for people to work through because they don't have the acumen to do so. I know very few people that can hold like two coherent thoughts together to come to somewhat of a conclusion. You follow? Not you,
Yeah,
Adam, the other guy.
Yeah, just the language barrier alone. It's hard to understand what exactly is going on.
Sure.
With quantum.
Sure. That's even documented in the literature. It was either Heisenberg or Schrodinger. I remember, I've got this written down somewhere that said one of the biggest barriers in discussing quantum mechanics, we don't have the language for it. That language, it's very hard to even describe, let alone explain. We don't have the words for it. It's recognized. So just to put that out there, I might have to search for that and bring that up at some point. Get the whole context of what he said.
It's called an uncertainty principle because for our concept of reality, we're uncertain. Well, you think God's not? Do you think God's uncertain? Or do you think that's all part of the way he wrote the program, how it will manifest? That's how it works. That's exactly what he's done. And so to try and think you can understand, and this is where you get to your limitations.
Yep.
We've quoted scripture, but this also to the point where you can quote man quite nicely with non-scriptural stuff, where the first sip of science, God disappears, but at the end of that cup, the Creator is there for you because it really does demonstrate, particularly quantum stuff. It's part of creation and a magical part. Why it's there, I don't know. Maybe it's a shortcut for God. Yeah? Maybe it's a cheat in his programming, if you want to think of it like that. I have no idea. The simple fact it happens is, say, bewildering and humbling.
Yep. Totally agree. And the cool thing about it, it's all based on information.
Ooh.
Everything. When you boil down.
Next Ballbusters.
Say again?
Greasing the skids for the next Ballbusters.
I wasn't I didn't do it purposely, but it was hanging out there and I just jacked it yard.
Wow, you were
one of the smoothest things I've ever
heard. You got rumpus, Adam. Betty was talking over you again.
No, he started in the middle of my sentence.
And see, Betty, I apologise. Carry on.
Just go on.
What did you say, Betty?
No, I just said smooth link. It is, because this more philosophical stuff does fundamentally relate to the topic of information very, very well. That's what I've been alluding to. Is the information there? That's what we've been talking about. Does that affect reality? And that's profound to me. That's all this is about. Why it's mind blowing. Put simply, that photograph can be affected by whether or not I know the which path. Why would that?
Why would that be?
Yeah, well, that's a message that I'm important and my knowledge is important. And if it's sent through proving all things, for me to get that message, then, like I say, maybe I shouldn't despise prophesizing. John.
Yeah.
Funny show tonight.
It's because it makes you, like I said, I have this succinctly put down somewhere that
again.
I have this put
for tonight.
Say again.
It's sort of your theme for today. I have it written down somewhere. I think that's a large phrase, When people ask something, I have it written down somewhere.
Betty, I'm starting to get old, man.
Yeah, I know. I should take that into account. Huh?
Yeah. Just treat it like Be Kind to Dumb Animal week.
Rest of the years?
Like I do with you.
How do you respond to such a thing?
Yeah, that you could participate. I think I brought it up before. You're allowed to participate in the game.
How say
Yeah, it's hard to friggin' say. I was watching my plosives.
Participate.
But you're allowed to participate in the game, but you can't control it. So I think that's where most of the metaphysical horse shit comes, with a lot of quantum mechanical doofuses. Oh God! Just hang on every syllable, Betty. Let's do that with you.
You always do that with me.
We won't get through a whole sentence. It'll be a whole show.
Good. Well, number 101.
I even lost my place. We've red herring fallacied so far away from it now. I don't even know. When's dinner?
See? It's so easy to confuse you nowadays.
When's dinner? Like I said, you're allowed to participate in the game, but you can't control it. And like I said, the metaphysical hoot nannies out there, that's where they trip up.
Hoot nannies?
Yeah, it's hoot nanny. Bullshit. I don't know if there's an official definition. I just remember the word. Look, here we go again.
Yeah, this is a new word. I have not seen that before. Hoot nanny.
You don't see words unless they're written.
Nanny is a Scottish word.
I'm thinking about a hooded nanny.
I'll look it up. A hootenanny, I think it's like a party or something. It's a Scottish Gaelic word. Hootenanny. There you go. Hootenanny meaning. Merriam-Webster.
Oh, brother.
I know, but it'll do for this purposes. Yeah, there you go. It's like a party. See, a gathering at which folk singers entertain often with an audience. It's Scottish because the family are a hootenanny. It's just like a knees up would be the English version.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate that.
I'm full of useless facts.
I'm even more confused than I was. Alrighty then.
Yeah, I think we should wrap things on up.
Yeah, you need your food, and I need my rest.
Been down the panel.
We got to go down the panel. That's another hour.
You never know. They might all ignore us.
They ain't going to ignore us.
Yeah, you go. You're going to ignore us.
People want to hear themselves talk, man. They even if they don't have something to say, like, no, I ain't got anything left to say. But one more thing.
Hey, nothing from Diego.
We'll leave it up to Betty. Betty, what do you think?
What do you think about what exactly?
Should we go down the whole panel? Are you listening to the words that are coming out of our mouths?
Not particularly.
Yeah,
I try to avoid
I figured as much.
Sorry, I'm a little bit sluggish today.
That's okay.
Yeah, maybe there are some people that want to say something. I don't know.
Go ahead. Go down the panel, Betty.
Right. So let's start on top. Jago76. You want to add to the show? Say something?
Don't do it.
I think he's saying in himself, like, I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, Humble V. Want to add something?
Very interesting show, and I'm looking forward to Saturday. This information thing lining up, and QE getting the scripture that I was misquoting. Priceless.
Okay. Fair enough, man. How did you like? I know that was one of your questions too. That if God knew, then why do we have quantum mechanics? I know that was one of your questions.
Listen, this went to a totally other level, messing with my mind today. And I think I have a funeral Saturday, but I think your I can catch whatever comes after. But I'm really, like, honestly, this moved to another level, and
Yes, it did.
yeah,
It sometimes happens, man. You just have to be here to experience it. You don't know when it's going to come about. It just happens.
yeah.
First,
and,
we're talking about Mexican hairless dogs, and then we're talking about deep stuff.
Mexican
Yeah.
dog stuff. Come on. Depends on where your mind's at.
Yeah. Cool.
And Adam clarifying that question is too much. Yeah, that's messing with my head as I speak. So I'm gonna think. Till next time.
Try some wild turkey.
Gotcha. Thanks.
You're welcome. Next
is Just Bill.
Yeah, all I want to do is triple down, but that might take a bad turn. So good talking to you people, man.
You could
Y'all
triple
have a
down
good
on the
weekend.
wild turkey. What are you going to triple down on?
No, man, I'm just thinking of like two people on an island that no one's ever, it's just these two people, and one of them is like horrible to the other one, and he ends up murdering the guy, he dies, but that never happened. I don't know, just running it in my head. I don't know.
You see, don't do it. Stick with quantum mechanics and don't let this Schrodinger's cat crap seep into your mind. And you,
Yeah.
yeah.
As long as you have
Nothing to
enough
do with
consciousness,
it.
it exists.
John said it earlier. Metaphysics, a great way to pollute your mind with non-reality. Try and think out. Describe what a ball would be to people who live in 2 dimensions. There's no such fucking thing as 2 dimensions. So as clever as you are to imagine a growing ball and a growing circle and a shrinking circle, so that you can then pretend you've got the pseudo-intellectual capability to go on and imagineer a 4th dimension, is to pollute your mind. Take it away from what we was talking about, proving all things. Nothing you can prove there. Why waste your time there? Metaphysics, my arse.
Well, tell us how you really feel, Adam.
I wasted time there, John. A long time there. Why?
Hey, look at Tarot down here in Chat's gang. Tarot 3006. Just got here, so is QE again talking about food? What is it now, pasta? Too funny, man. You missed it. You need to rewind. We went off the deep end, dude. We were down there where few venture. That's where we went there, brother. You better rewind this.
It wasn't there, so don't watch.
Thanks, buddy.
See how I undid that?
Yeah.
Have a good week, people.
Yeah, you too. Yep. Go on, Betty.
Yeah, we got Paul. Paul, do you want to say something?
Well, according to Collins, a hootenanny is an informal performance by folk singers. That's all I got.
I used it out of context. Sorry.
You tend to do that a lot.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
No, I do not. It's just an exaggeration. Another red herring fallacy. Just continue down the list.
No, you're the one that's got us on this wrong track. Come on. Yeah. You got caught. And then you red herring away from that by red herringing me.
That's baloney. It's all red herrings.
It's the sausage hanging right in front of you.
This is a family show?
Bologna is a sausage.
Continue down the list.
I just wanted you to confirm that what I said was true. Yes, Betty. You were totally true.
You better start down that list.
You're next on that list.
I got nothing to add.
Sausage list.
The sausage list. I got nothing to
I was
add, Betty.
trying to think of. I was thinking what comes after baloney. You could
My baloney
bratwurst.
has a first name. Oscar.
And then
What?
I'm thinking
My
chorizo
baloney has a
after that.
first name. Oscar. My baloney has a second name. Meyer. Oscar Mayer. For goodness sakes.
That's a wiener.
Thanks, Adam.
Pleasure.
Okay, next on the list is relay, contain B.
Yeah, I believe the Oscar Myers just part of the Mandela effect. Actually, doesn't exist.
You have to be
But,
an old timer to recognize that.
I still remember those jingles.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing my guts out when I saw the movie Demolition Man and their oldie station were old jingles from like these commercials. I was just laughing.
Yeah.
All right, so it's day 19,776 for me, and still no proof of a globe, still no proof of curvature. Certainly not a moon landing.
Outstanding. You're going to be waiting many more days.
Yeah, we should get paid for that, shouldn't we?
Nah. All right, sir. Betty, you're next on the list.
Wow. Yeah, great show. Time to end.
Very good. Adam.
Is it Tone Loc?
What the hell?
The Funky Cole Medina?
You know what I'm saying? Don't mess with that Medina, baby.
Is that it, Adam?
Must be sure that your girl is pure for the Oscar Mayer wiener. Went to a bar. She said, "Hi, my name is Sheena."
Oh, brother.
You must be sure that your girl is pure. Sheena was a man. That's all that was in my head when you said that. Sorry. I have very little exposure to American culture.
Fair enough. All right, Betty, is that it?
Yeah, I don't know how we got on the Oscar Myers wiener.
From bologna and your sausage.
I don't see the connection, sorry.
Of course you don't, because you're Dutch.
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to wrap it up because it's going down a nonsensical lane. I don't want to go there. All right, so we got Ballbusters this Saturday at 2 p.m. U.S. Central, and I think that's 8 p.m. UK now. I think that's it. The presentation is going to be on information. It's a pivotal presentation. It's one of my favorite presentations because, like Professor Paul Davies said, it's the ontological basement of all of reality. Now, he was one off because information is not the ontological basement. It's the consequent of its necessary antecedent, a knower, intelligent agent. And we're going to get it all into information. I can't wait for Saturday. We'll see you there. So that's it. Catch you on the flip side. Out.